There is a silence here that feels heavy, a physical weight pressing against your eardrums. It is the silence of a continent holding its breath. We are in the deep interior of Siberia, a place that occupies the nightmares and the dreams of explorers for centuries. To the uninitiated, this vast white expanse looks like a wasteland, a blank page on the map where life has been erased by the cold. But beneath the frozen crust of the world, something is waking up. This is not just a frozen landscape, it is the oldest, deepest, and most mysterious scar on the face of the Earth. The wind here does not blow, it cuts. At 40 degrees below zero, the air itself feels brittle, as if the sky might shatter if you speak too loudly. In this realm of absolute winter, we find a phenomenon that defies logic. A body of water so vast it generates its own weather, so deep it could swallow every mountain in the Alps and still have room for more. This is Lake Baikal, but calling it a lake feels like an insult. The locals call it the sacred sea, and when you stand on its surface, separated from the abyss by only a few feet of frozen water, you understand why. You are standing on the single largest reservoir of fresh water on the planet. 1/5 of all the liquid fresh water on our Earth is held right here, beneath your boots. But in winter, Baikal transforms into something extraterrestrial. The water is so pure, so devoid of mineral dust and debris, that when it freezes, it does not turn white, it turns into a window. Walking on this ice is an exercise in vertigo. The clarity is terrifying. You look down and you do not see ice, you see the void. You can see rocks, stones and darkness 130 feet down, perfectly magnified. It feels as though you are walking on air, suspended over a dark, liquid universe. Your brain screams at you that you are falling, that the surface is gone, but the cold, hard reality of the ice holds you up. It is a floor of turquoise glass, polished by the relentless Siberian wind until it shines like a mirror for the galaxy above. But the ice is not empty. Locked within this crystal cathedral are the ghosts of the deep. Everywhere you look, you see columns of white bubbles frozen in suspended animation. These are the methane mines of Baikal. They look like art, beautiful three-dimensional sculptures of white discs stacked on top of one another, reaching for the surface. But this beauty is volatile. This is organic gas, released by microorganisms consuming ancient matter at the bottom of the lake. They rise, get trapped by the freezing surface, and wait. If you were to drill a hole and hold a match to one of these escaping pockets, the ice itself would catch fire. It is a landscape of sleeping grenades, a silent reminder that beneath this serene, frozen beauty, there is a violent chemical churning. The violence is not just chemical, it is geological. Baikal is not a depression formed by glaciers like the lakes of North America or Europe. It is a rift, a tear in the planet's crust where the Amurian plate and the Eurasian plate are slowly, painfully pulling apart. This lake is actually an ocean in its infancy. Every year, the shores widen by 2 centimeters. The earth here is ripping open and the water rushes in to fill the wound. This process has been happening for 25 million years, making Baikal the oldest lake in history. Most lakes die after a few thousand years, they fill with sediment and become swamps. But Baikal is immortal. It is growing deeper, wider, and stranger with every passing eon. You can hear this growth. The silence of Siberia is a myth. Baikal is loud. Because the temperature swings so wildly between day and night, the ice expands and contracts, creating a symphony of tension. It sounds like artillery fire. Deep, resonant booms echo from miles away, sounding like thunder from beneath the earth. Sometimes it sounds like whales singing, other times like a suspension bridge snapping. When a crack forms, it shoots across the surface faster than a bullet, a jagged lightning bolt of white, fracturing the turquoise glass. To stand alone in the center of the lake, miles from the shore, listening to the ice groan and detonate beneath you, is to feel the heartbeat of a leviathan. Where the pressure becomes too great, the ice doesn't just crack, it explodes upwards. These are the hummocks, fields of shattered ice, shards, shoved up by the collision of tectonic plates of frozen water. They glow with an inner blue light illuminated by the low winter sun. Some are the size of cars, jagged teeth jutting out of the smooth surface, creating labyrinthine corridors of blue crystal. The wind howls through these sculptures, polishing them until they look like gemstones scattered by giants. It is a chaotic, jagged beauty, a testament to the immense forces fighting for space on the surface of the deep. And yet, in this hostile, frozen architecture, there is life. Life that has no business being here. Far out on the desolate white plains, you might see a dark shape moving. It is the Nerpa, the Baikal seal. They are an evolutionary riddle. Seals are creatures of the ocean, yet Baikal is thousands of miles from the nearest sea, locked in the center of the massive Asian continent. How did they get here? Did they swim up rivers in a prehistoric era? Did they get trapped when the geography of the world was different? No one knows for certain. They have evolved in isolation for millions of years, becoming the only freshwater seals on Earth. They are the eyes of the lake, dark and liquid. Watching from holes they claw in the ice, guarding secrets that science has yet to unravel. To travel across this landscape is to court death. In the winter, the lake becomes the only road connecting the remote communities on the northern shores, the Zimnik, the ice road. Drivers venture out onto the frozen skin of the abyss in heavy trucks. The rule is simple and terrifying. You never wear a seatbelt and you keep your door unlocked. If the ice breaks, you have 3 seconds to jump before the truck drags you down into a mile of freezing darkness. You look for the dark spots, the young ice, and you avoid the snow, which acts as a blanket, warming the ice beneath and making it thin. It is a high-stakes game of roulette played against the elements, where the road itself is alive, shifting and waiting for a mistake. As the sun begins to set, the transformation of Baikal reaches its peak. The low light hits the methane bubbles, turning them gold and amber. The turquoise ice deepens into indigo. The horizon disappears, blurring the line between the frozen lake and the freezing sky. The temperature plummets further, reaching 50–60 degrees below zero. The air becomes so dry, it crackles. This is not a place for humans. We are intruders here, fragile bags of water that would freeze the solid in minutes without protection. This place demands humility. It forces you to confront the scale of time. When you look into that clear, black ice, you are looking back 25 million years. You are seeing the Earth as it was before us and as it will be long after we are gone. This is the Galapagos of Russia, a laboratory of evolution where nature has been left alone to conduct its strangest experiments. Baikal is not simply a destination, it is a planetary organ holding 20% of the world's liquid future. It is a place of paradoxes, fire trapped in ice, an ocean in the middle of land, a desert made of water. In the heart of the Siberian wilderness, where the map fades into white, we find the most alien world imaginable. It is beautiful, it is terrifying, and it is entirely, undeniably real. This is the eye of the world, wide open and unblinking, staring up at the stars, guarding the deep, cold truth of our planet's history.